Darlington, a single word, a single track. Long known for its ability to produce chills for drivers and thrills for fans. Today, for the 35th time, dating back to 1982, this granddaddy of all stock car facilities plays host to the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division SunCom 200. It has almost become customary in the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division that the early season superspeedway events are claimed by the more experienced part-time visitors from NASCAR's senior circuit, the Winston Cup Series. But this year, with Mark Martin bidding goodbye to Busch, the domination has been almost painful for other competitors to watch. The only bump in the road wasn't a bump at all, but this late lap spin at Vegas had prevented Martin's sweep and yielded victory to teammate Jeff Burton. Martin's focus is firm and his Ford is fast, as evidenced by his overpowering performance last weekend in Atlanta, where victory finally came well after darkness. Today, maybe the sun will shine on these full-time Busch Series hopefuls, who not only have to best drivers with famous names, but also a track too tough to tame. After 4 of 32 events, the Busch Series point standings reflect a heavy Winston Cup influence, with Matt Kenseth and Mark Martin holding 2 of the top 3 spots. Now, it is not just their individual talents, but a total team effort that has lifted into the top of this bracket. But after all, Bill Weber, it is that time of the year.
You're absolutely right, Jerry. In fact, ask any coach in the NCAA tournament, and he'll tell you experience is everything. Well, it's no different here in the Busch division, where even some of the series stars are relegated to a Cinderella role when that top-ranked talent from the Winston Cup side earns a spot in this tournament. In this race, guys in Sunday's show took 7 spots, including the top 3 positions, stuffed with talent from the Roush team. Let's meet some of today's starters. In the number 3 position, the defending race champion from Wisconsin, Matt Kenseth, driving for car owner Robbie Reiser. Up front from Virginia, Jeff Burton. He's been here 15 times, 1 win and 5 straight top 10s. And at point guard out of Arkansas, Mark Martin. He's a Jack Sprague spin and a Jeff Burton win away from a perfect 3 for 3. Now, fresh from his victory in Atlanta last Saturday, the series is back at Darlington, where Martin's mission isn't just to win Dixie, he wants to sweep Dixie.
Bill, it's important to keep in mind that the Busch Grand National chase for the championship is 32 races long. And sooner or later, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, and Matt Kenseth will not be competing. So who has the best shot at the 2000 championship? I think Randy LaJoie, Todd Bodine, Jeff Green, and Ron Hornaday look like the 4 to beat. When it comes to Darlington, LaJoie has the advantage. He won here in '97. Todd Bodine has posted 11 top 10 finishes in just 13 races here. Jeff Green, on the other hand, has never finished better than 7th, and he missed practice yesterday with an electrical problem. The guy with the most to learn today very well could be Ron Hornaday. The 3 team is 5th in the points right now, but this is Hornaday's first race at Darlington. This track is the lesson giver, the man maker, and it can break your spirit and decimate your confidence. And today, it very well could shuffle an already interesting points race. Now for more, let's go up top to Dr. Jerry Punch and Benny Parsons.
Thank you very much, Roy, and hello, everyone. Glad to have you with us here today. And Benny, as if tackling this historic egg-shaped oval weren't difficult enough, we've had a significant weather change since the last time these cars were on the racetrack on Friday. The wind has picked up, the temperatures dropped some 12 degrees, but that's not why many of these guys in today's field are shivering.
No, because it is Darlington, the most difficult, unique racetrack on the circuit. Walking through the garage here this morning, Jerry, talking to some of those young guys who haven't been here before, they said, what's up with this racetrack? I've never seen a racetrack like this any place that I've been. It's very difficult to get around the racetrack by themselves. Now you throw 42 other race cars on the track, the tough becomes almost impossible.
The challenge for these 43 competitors is quite clear. They must battle each other as well as the track and the elements if they are to be the one and the only one to emerge victorious here today. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, is proud to present NASCAR. Today, the tradition continues at the infamous Darlington Raceway. It is the setting for Busch Series action, chills, and thrills. Back in a moment. Take a look at our race analysis today. NASCAR Busch Series action, 200 miles, 147 laps, the SunCom 200. The purse, $658,000 plus. The pit window for fuel, 75 to 85 laps. And, of course, the race record, Michael Waltrip back in the fall of 1992. Our in-car cameras.
Onboard camera, Dick Trickle or Briggs and Stratton on board. He'll be starting back in 35th spot. We see McDonald's onboard camera. Anthony Lazaro starts back in the 30th position. His first trip to Darlington. Also Kenny Irwin, Bell South Mobility, 24th position. Jimmy Johnson, Alltel onboard camera. Ashton Lewis has a Porter cable on board, started in the 11th spot. Mike McLaughlin, Cobalt 2. He starts 7th. And our pole sitter, Mark Martin, the Winn-Dixie Ford.
And speaking of our pole sitter, let's take a look at our starting grid. Mark Martin's 25th career pole in the Winn-Dixie Ford. He is a 42-time winner in the series, flanked by his Roush teammate, Jeff Burton. Back in row 2, the points leader, Matt Kenseth, and the former Busch Series champion, David Green. And as you look at our field of 43 cars, you're going to see that there is a significant discrepancy in speed, particularly at the front of the field.
Yes. And, you know, we talked about a pit window being 65 to 85 laps. This racetrack is awfully abrasive on tires. They wear quickly. These drivers will be wanting to make a pit stop 15, 20 laps into a run. But unfortunately, they've got to sit there and wait until they use up some fuel to make that pit stop.
You saw Mike Borkowski. He is one of 11 rookies in today's starting field. 43 cars and drivers will start. 11 rookies, 7 Winston Cup drivers who will also be in Sunday's Mall.com 400 here at Darlington. So at 5 former Darlington winners, including Mark Martin, our pole sitter, who has 6 victories on this very difficult oval. 2 of them coming in the springtime and 4 in the fall event.
Talk about those 11 rookies. As they watch Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, some of these experienced NASCAR Winston Cup drivers drive around this racetrack, they're going to think that what they're doing is almost impossible. Getting around the racetrack, this Darlington Raceway, at the speed they do.
Tony Raines coming off a great run last week in Atlanta, his best finish of the year. There's the 19-year-old Casey Atwood. We're back in the provisional starters. Hud Strickland, a veteran, and Buckshot Jones starting shotgun on the field, back in 43rd position. And a first here for Darlington Raceway, a brand new pit road. A single continuous pit road has been built here at Darlington. No more front and back pits. And Benny, that does present a bit of a challenge because no one has ever had to negotiate pit road.
All right, you see, this abutment pit road used to end just before that, but you see they've added several pits on this side of that. Now on the other side, there's also another tunnel with another abutment. They've added more pit stalls over there to make one pit road. I applaud the officials here at the Darlington Raceway for doing this and making this racetrack as equal for everyone, no matter where you qualify.
Great job for Jim Hunter and his staff. Take a look at Darlington Raceway. 1.366 mile oval. The front and back stretch are symmetrical. The banks 25 degrees in turns 1 and 2, 23 degrees in 3 and 4, and the straightaways basically flat, a simple 2 degrees. As Mark Martin will lead him down. Race number 5 on the 32 race $14 million Busch Series Tour is underway here in Darlington, South Carolina.
Trying to figure out, I've got to get in a single line before we get these cars up to speed. Before I get to turn 1 next time, I got to be single. We can't go through these corners side by side, and they're right.
As they flash by, Mark Martin, our leader, as he gives way now to teammate Jeff Burton, who will take the lead. But Mark Martin, by leading that lap, he has led every single Busch race here since 1992. 17 consecutive times he has led at Darlington.
P.J. Jones, a 74 car. Got a little squirrely off turn 2 as Todd Bodine, the 66, Jeff Green in 10. And look at this, Bill Parsons, 37 of Kevin Grubb. Tony Raines on the outside. Here comes Buckshot on the outside. And a battle for the 3rd position.
David Green made a move beneath Kenseth, then back for the lead again. Mark Martin makes a move beneath Jeff Burton for the position. That's coming out of turn 4.
Elton Sawyer on the inside, the 98 car. Steve Park in the 31. And Park right now on the outside. Mike McLaughlin trying to take the position away. It's a battle for the 9th spot, 8th spot actually.
Steve Park's first Busch Series start since the end of the 1997 season when he was Rookie of the Year here in this NASCAR division. Single foul up front, and they have solidified the lead. Mark Martin has led now 2 consecutive laps. They look back up the back straightaway coming out of turn 2.
Oh, man.
Wide.
Jason Leffler in the 18 NBNA car, and another lead change as Burton goes to lead off turn 4. I think that Jason Leffler might have just touched the wall off turn 2 as David Green goes into the second spot. Look at Hank Parker Jr. back in 4th.
All right, Mark Martin's Winn-Dixie onboard camera looking at the second place car of David Green. Right in front of him, Green, the 1994 Busch Series champion, the car number 34 there. There's Martin, the 60 car.
There's the Porter Cable, Ashton Lewis. We're hearing that he might have brushed the wall. He certainly has slowed. Had a great qualifying run. Started 11th spot.
Look at our WorldBestBuy.com telemetry with Ashton Lewis, who was slowing. You see that his car not at the speed as it was before. And he taps the brake as you see Adam Petty slide by in the sprint machine.
Todd Bodine going by Jimmy Johnson in 92. That's a battle back for the 13th position. And losing more spots as Jeff Green goes by.
Jeff Burton being shown as our leader. David Green in second position. The Northern Light Ford is the lead car, the number 9 car, the 34 car.
And you can see the cars that have gained position since the drop of the green flag. Jeff Green has picked up 6. Bobby Hamilton Jr. 5. Look at Tony Raines. Picked up 7 positions. And a battle for the lead as David Green goes by Jeff Burton, takes the lead, and Mark Martin comes along with him.
Hank Parker Jr., the young 25-year-old driver in the Team Marines Chevrolet back in 4th spot as he will get a challenge now, 4th position by Blaze Alexander. Front 5 cars, single file with 140 laps to go. Just 7 laps complete, and what action we've had at Darlington, South Carolina. The fans have yet to sit down. They're enjoying the early laps here of NASCAR's Busch Series SunCom 200. Back with more live coverage from Darlington in just a moment. I'm Gary Punch along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap. Live NASCAR Busch Series action. They continue to swap the lead up front. David Green was leading, then Mark Martin was leading, and now Jeff Burton again assumes the point.
But I think it's short-lived because here comes Mark Martin looking on the inside. Mark Martin, our World Best Buy telemetry. We'll see as he battles alongside Burton. Then in turn 1, he takes his... Oh, they go to the corner side by side. Come on, guys. You aren't supposed to play like that.
Burton will back out of it slightly, and Martin takes the lead. Here's a challenge for 3rd spot. That's Matt Kenseth trying to get the lead. David Green will take the position away.
And David Green, the 34 AFG, trying to come back on the inside. Hank Parker Jr., Team Marines at 53, still hanging right back there.
And Dixie Ford is your leader. Northern Light car number 9. That is Jeff Burton in 2nd spot. Kenseth, Visine Chevy is 3rd. Car 34, the AFG Glass Machine is 4th, and the Marines are hanging tough in 5th position.
Steve Park on the outside of Elton Sawyer. Elton Sawyer, the 98 Lysol car, was trying to pass Hank Parker Jr. on the inside. When he did that, he had to check his momentum. That allowed Steve Park to drive up on the outside.
Steve Park has not competed in Busch Series action since the 1997 season. He started 9th today in the Wheel and Engineering Chevrolet and is now working his way up toward the 5th position.
To the inside. Oh, just turns up right in front of Hank Parker Jr. Now let's see if Park can gain on those 4 cars in front of him.
Stefanik in the car, number 90, in a pretty good battle back here. His first Busch start of the year. If you watch Ken will come by in the 36 car. Kevin Harvick in the 2. That's the AC Delco machine.
I see Tony Rings in the 33. Kevin Grubb in 37. Jay Sauter talked to Kevin Harvick in the 2 car this morning about this racetrack, and he said, I like this racetrack. I said, they've always said you were weird.
3 drivers who are all under contract to Jack Roush. These are the 3 guys who have won the 4 events in Busch Series action this year. We should call it the NASCAR Roush Grand National Tour thus far in the year 2000, because all 4 wins have been drivers under contract to Jack Roush. And that's the top 3 right now. Mark Martin is the leader. Jeff Burton in 2nd spot. In the 17 car, the Visine Chevy of Matt Kenseth. Let's check in the pits with Bill Weber.
Well, Jerry, of course, the Busch cars did not practice here this morning, but the Winston Cup cars did. And during that 90-minute practice session, Jeff Burton sent a crew member over to his Busch car to make sure crew chief Tommy Morgan was listening in case he wanted to make any changes. Burton and Kenseth leading Martin on the track now. Midway through that practice session this morning, the message was relayed to Tommy Morgan, make a minor track bar adjustment on Burton's Busch car. Right now, maybe that adjustment is contributing to the fact he's racing up front.
And that might be somewhat of an advantage for the Winston Cup guys as they get on the racetrack on the day of the Busch race.
I think it is a bit of an advantage. Talking to Tommy Morgan, the crew chief that Bill Weber was talking about just a moment ago, and he told me that Jeff Burton is such a focused race car driver. And I don't doubt that this morning he didn't have Tommy Morgan there and focused on what he was doing this morning in that 99 car Exide. Oh, and we see Borkowski around and bam, slams that inside wall.
Rookie driver Mike Borkowski brings out the first caution flag today here on lap 20 in car number 20. That's on the front straightaway. Borkowski, the 1995 Cornell graduate out of the Trans Am Series and Indy Lights, having driven there for Bobby Rahal. And unfortunately, that's one rookie there that learns that Darlington is very unforgiving here. Gets the car refired and caution out for the first time today here on lap number 20.
And you can see all the damage on the right side of that car. He's trying to get, but the rear housing is so, and besides, I think the steering is broken in the right front. No, it's turning now. Tough break.
Car owned by Bill and Gail Davis, the AT&T sponsorship for Borkowski. Let's see if we can see what happened again. He's racing with Kenny Irwin, the 42 car.
Going off turn 4. And right there, just slight contact, but all it takes is slight contact. And around he goes, trying to keep up with the thing, but he can't go, almost hits the 42. Jay Sauter goes by, Tony Raines goes by, and here's where he, bam, slams that inside wall.
Well, he nearly saved it. Watch the traffic go to the outside, go to the high side to get by him as the car comes across those 6 lanes here on the front stretch.
Well, you know, he never hit the brakes until right there at the end. He was still driving that thing, trying to save the car right till the end. And that really helped all those other drivers coming along, Jerry, because he did not obscure their visibility with a bunch of tire smoke. Watch, see? No smoke at all, because he's still driving this thing, still trying to save it. Now he starts locking the brakes up.
All right, first pit stop of the day, 45 miles an hour. There's Hank Parker Jr. in the pits. They all come down. First time ever for one continuous pit road. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
When Jerry Todd Bodine is in, they're going to take a half a pound air pressure, put a half a pound air pressure in. You see a wedge adjustment. 2 rounds down in the left rear. Now to Bill Weber.
No change for Mark Martin. 21 laps under green. He said his car was good enough to stay out. No changes. The only reason they came down pit road was because Burton did. Martin's on his way.
And there's the very end of pit road. You see Jeff Burton's car getting serviced, and Tommy Morgan and the crew drop the jack, but Martin will be the first off. Then comes the 17 car behind Burton.
And it looks like the cars are basically going back out about where they came in. But obviously, as Randy LaJoie sits on pit road, losing position after position, never seen P.J. Jones leaving. Now, finally, LaJoie crew is able to finish his work. He's back on the track.
Well, one continuous pit road gets an A+ for me because it worked perfectly there into the first caution flag today. No front and back pits anymore here at Darlington. We are under caution for the first time today due to a spin by Mike Borkowski. Back in a moment. Darlington Raceway under caution for the first time today. Now you want to join ABC Sports today for NHL regional coverage of regular season action, beginning with Pittsburgh taking on Boston, the New York Rangers, and Philadelphia or Detroit taking on Colorado. That's live today at 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific. Check your local listings for the game in your area. The NHL on ABC, home of the Stanley Cup. Let's go down to the pits and Bill Weber.
Well, just want to check in on some of these guys that had good pit stops. And for Steve Park, who's running a good race here, they really didn't want to make much of a chassis adjustment. Basically, all they did was free him up a little bit, then send him back out on the racetrack. So a good pit stop for Steve Park, returning to the Busch Series here at Darlington this afternoon. Let's go down to Ray.
Well, Bill, Mike Dillon came in for a pit stop, and the crew members missed a couple of lug nuts on the number 21 car, so he had to come back into the pits. And that'll put him out on the track on 40th. So a tough break from the crew there. The 97 car of Anthony Lazzaro was just about to get lapped on that right before the caution came out. I went down and talked to the crew chief, and he said, well, Anthony's just not very comfortable with this track yet. It's pretty obvious with his lap times. Those leaders were catching him.
And we might want to explain also that was not a rookie mistake a moment ago by Mike Borkowski. We mentioned the rookie gets bitten by Darlington. He actually got tapped from behind, so he did nothing wrong. He just simply got a little tap behind him and looped around. And Benny, one of the big losers in that pit stop there was the car number 1 of Randy LaJoie.
Randy LaJoie was running 9th when the caution flag came out. He's all the way back at 22nd right now, so they had some problems, I think, on the left side of the Bob Evans Farms Chevrolet. All right, get ready for green flag.
We'll start here on lap 26. The first caution out for 4 laps, and number 60, the Winn-Dixie Ford. Martin leads him down.
Ron Hornaday in the 3 car about to lose a spot as Kenny Wallace gets on the inside. Leaders coming off turn 2.
McLaughlin now will try to challenge Kenny Wallace, and Jimmy Johnson will go with him. The 48 is McLaughlin, the 92 is Johnson, and the Alltel Chevy. Here comes Kenny Wallace, battling back on the high side.
Block the 26 car, Bobby Hamilton Jr. and a battle for the lead as Burton goes by Mark Martin. And here comes Matt Kenseth.
Kenseth making a run on the inside of Martin. Will take second spot away, entering turn 3. Jay Sauter in the car 43 trying to hold off the Bob Evans Restaurants efforts of LaJoie. And he will make the pass, but Bill, what happened in the pits for Randy LaJoie?
Well, Jerry, LaJoie reported early in the race that he had a vibration. They came in and they took 4 tires, Matt Kenseth going to the lead. But what took them so long was getting a rubber out of the right front. That took time on pit road, cost him space on the racetrack.
Cost him 13 spots in the pits, so removing that rubber spacer in the right front. He is now in 20th position. He restarted in 23rd spot. Talking about the 2-time series champion here, driving the car number 1, Randy LaJoie.
Oh, man, look at this. We'll see Chad Chapman go by 77. There's Mike Stefanik in the 90. That's the yellow and blue car. Buckshot Jones trying to get by Stefanik on the inside, the red car. And Phil Parsons right behind him, and here comes Hermie Sadler.
There's the car number 5 of Dick Trickle, the Bridge and Stratton onboard camera. Looking right in front of him, trying to go by the car number 30 of Hermie Sadler. They are battling for position. That is for the 35th position. Battles all over the racetrack. And up for the lead as well as Burton goes back by Kenseth Ford, passes Chevrolet to take the point. With 29, making 30 laps complete this time by.
David Green, 34th line. AFG Glass still hanging back in 4th spot. And talking all with Roger, right there is where they said the 9 car is so fast. From the middle to 1 and 2 off that corner, it is really, really good.
These fans are still on their feet. We've had 13 lead changes in 30 laps here at Darlington, South Carolina. Exciting NASCAR Busch Series action. Jeff Burton, our leader. Kenseth, who won this race last year, from the 9th starting spot, is second. Martin is third. David Green is fourth. The 31 car of Steve Park in his first Busch start in some 3 years is in 5th position, with Todd Bodine in 6th.
There you see all 42 cars strung out around the racetrack. There's Anthony Lazzaro, the McDonald's car. Justin Lawson right in front of him.
Leaders coming by at a turn 4. Basically single file for the top dozen or so positions. There's Ron Hornaday, his first race here at Darlington. They tested here, but he led the most laps the season opening race in Daytona. Led over 40 laps there. Had a great third-place finish in week 2 at Rockingham.
Just about got that wall. Ron Hornaday lost an engine in their NASCAR Busch Series happy hour yesterday afternoon. Did not get to complete that 1-hour practice, so
Napa Field summary showing you the points that they were awarded now, and show you who's moving up and who's moving down in the Busch Series point standings.
Nemechek has lost 13 spots, primarily because Nemechek is not entered in this race.
Roof camera for Jimmy Johnson, the former ASA Rookie of the Year, driving for Randy and Stan Herzog.
Back in 15th spot right now. That's Tim Fedewa. Mark Green. As we look out the back of the Alltel Chevrolet, we see Fedewa, Mark Green, Devin Harvick.
Tim Fedewa, a former pole sitter here at Darlington. On the pole in the spring of 1995. Now he will try to take the spot away as he pulls down to the inside. Can't quite make it stick. Drops back in single file. Well, they've settled down at least momentarily up front. Jeff Burton leads Kenseth, Martin, David Green, and Steve Park in the top 5. But wow, what a beginning to this Busch Series event, the 18th running of the NASCAR Busch Series SunCom 200 at Darlington has had 13 lead changes in just 35 laps. So don't go away. We'll be right back. 3 drivers who have won in the 4 events here in the year 2000, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton, and 2-time winner Mark Martin, are the top 3 that are showing the way today at Darlington, South Carolina. All 3 under contract to Jack Roush, and all 3 have won at least once this far in the big year 2000. And Martin will take a look for the lead.
He just turns that Winn-Dixie Ford left, gets on the inside of Burton, takes that lead away, and Matt Kenseth trying to do the same thing for second spot. Burton has no choice, back off and let Kenseth go.
It looks like they're having a blast.
Oh, man, they really are having a ball out there today. But now with about 25, 30 laps to go, it will become not fun, but serious business trying to figure out who wants to win. I mean, who's going to win, because naturally all 3 want to badly.
I mentioned that in case you just joined us, this is Mark Martin's farewell to Busch Series Tour. He's planned to run 14 events in the year 2000. This is his 4th start. There are 11 events counting today left on his schedule, and believe me, the Busch Series regulars will be glad to say goodbye to Mark Martin when this year's over.
They're going to say, can't you take Burton with you?
And Kenseth. Mark Martin, a 6-time winner here at Darlington Raceway. 4 of those wins have come in the fall event, 2 in the spring. Jeff Burton trying to make a move, and will make a move on the inside of his car number 17 of Matt Kenseth, who won this race last spring. Slouch at this racetrack either, by the way, if you look at what he did in Winston Cup last year. And there's a look at one young driver up very high, Benny.
Well, the car got better coming off turn 2. This is almost a lap later, but he's still suffering the repercussions of having to back off the gas because the car's under him off turn 2. Now he finally gets the car back up to speed. Talking about the 18, the MBNA Pontiac. Well, what a group of cars we've got going here. Buckshot Jones, the Cheez-It car.
And on the hood of his car, it says Cheez-It 250. That is the event next week in Bristol, Tennessee. We head up to Thunder Valley at Bristol Motor Speedway for our exciting NASCAR Busch action. That's what he's carrying on the hood of that car. There you go. Take a look at the Cheez-It 250 logo. That's our Busch next stop on the Busch Series Tour. Our ESPN cameras will be up there next Saturday afternoon.
48, Mike McLaughlin, the Goose, Pumps, and Chevrolet, and Ron Hornaday. That's the bottom of the 11th spot. We hear McLaughlin back off the gas, go in the corner. That qualifying these NASCAR Busch Series cars run through 1 and 2 wide open, never tracking the throttle. But obviously during the race, they have to back off a little bit. As we see Lyndon Amick, the 35 car, McLaughlin trying to get under.
Mike McLaughlin, 12 times he's come to Darlington. His best finish. He's had 4 top 10s here. He's also had a pole in the fall race 2 years ago.
Thought he had position off turn 4, but he can't quite make it. Now here he'll try to turn under Lyndon Amick. The Cobalt Tools onboard camera shows him get alongside and take that spot away.
McLaughlin trying to get his first top 10 finish of the year. He's got a 15th place finish at Rockingham. And the Innovative Motorsports George Devidar Chevy.
Now Lyndon Amick now has Ron Hornaday trying to take a spot away from him. McLaughlin has moved into 10th. Lyndon Amick is 11th and Hornaday 12th right now. They said Anthony Lazzaro is just not comfortable with this racetrack. And here he's in heavy traffic trying to get out of these guys' way, but he gets too high. And that is what's called the Darlington stripe as he goes up and smacks that concrete.
And caution being waved for the second time today. We are being told debris on the racetrack. Is it?
The debris up at turn 2.
So that debris off of turn 2 as the caution being waved by Matt Abernathy here on lap number 48. We'll take a quick break and come back and check on pit stops from Darlington. Back at Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. I'm Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap. We are working the second caution flag today. And guess what, Benny? Only a couple of cars decided to come down pit road. And guys, I guess, who had nothing to lose in the tail end of the lead lap.
Well, Randy LaJoy was running in 19th position. Decided to make a pit stop. Buckshot Jones is in, and the Cheez-It. The reason that the leaders did not pit, they need this pit stop to change tires. But let's go down to Bill Weber.
Well, Randy LaJoy continues to battle an ill-handling race car. They want to raise the track bar 2 rounds here to try and help him out. Most of these guys decided this was too early in the race to go ahead and use the second set of tires. They only get 3. They make the chassis adjustment. They put the right sides on LaJoy. They had some trouble on the right front there. Now around to the left side. Left rear is off, still working on the left front. LaJoy still sitting in the car. They want to clean the windshield, tear off the plastic cover. That's off. LaJoy's on his way. 2 long stops for these guys. Long way to go with just 1 set of tires under caution.
That's exactly right, Bill. As I started to say, under NASCAR Busch Series rules, you can only change 3 sets of tires under the caution flag. They've changed twice. Now they got to run 100 laps and just change tires once. That's why most of the leaders chose not to come in on that stop. We see Randy LaJoy making a pit stop. We see the adjustment in the rear track bar as they let the right side down. You see the 2 adjustments on the back of the car? The one here is for, this one is for the track bar. The one right up there is for the spring. So that you change the wedge adjustment on the spring with the top one, or the sway bar on the track bar on the bottom one.
All right, exciting Busch Series action continuing here at Darlington. Later today, the Northern Light Indy Racing League Series will have qualifying at 5:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. And then tomorrow at 4 Eastern Time, live coverage of the Phoenix 200 on ABC Sports. That's where Bob Dickens is out in Phoenix, Arizona. Back with more from Darlington here in just a moment. Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. You want to log on to the Information Superhighway? Want more in-depth information inside NASCAR? Well, try NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. Information about your favorite drivers, real-time scoring, and what's happening in today's NASCAR Busch Series event. That is NASCAR online at www.nascar.com.
As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, we keep talking about the importance of tires and what a difference it makes here at Darlington. Well, Randall LaJoy and several cars made a pit stop as we watch Jack Rouse, the owner of the 69 cars, run in first and second. Watch the cars coming off turn 4. You're going to see just what a difference the tires make as LaJoy and the cars that made a pit stop try to work themselves to the field, how much faster they are than the cars that stayed out.
Green, green.
And they're on their feet. Lap 54 will restart. That's that debris. Brought out the caution on lap number 48. Mark Martin will lead them down once again. Just joined us. The leaders did not opt to pit on this stop. And as you heard Bill Weber say, it's because of the tire rule. Only 3 sets of tires allowed per position under the caution flag. They're going to save those tires for later on in the day.
See Mark Martin, the 60 car, and Jeff Burton on 2 different lines through turns 3 and 4. Gary, up in 1 and 2, almost the same tracks.
Those of you watching this Busch Series battle today with Benny and I talking, and you're missing Kyle Petty. We are too, but Kyle, quite honestly, wanted to be able to devote some more time to the operation of their truck team, NASCAR Craftsman truck team, his son's team, as you watch the lead change here, Jeff Burton going by. And so, although we love having Kyle with us, we understand he's got a lot of things he needs to be handling down in the garage area on these Saturday afternoons. So we miss him as well, but that's where Kyle is now, working on the Winston Cup car and helping run Adam's operation here in this Busch Series event.
Jeff Burton pulled out to about a 10-car length advantage. Speaking of Adam Petty, he's back in the 19th position now in the sprint automobile.
Showing the way. Burton, a former winner here at Darlington. He won in the fall of 1997. One of the Busch Series regulars that's run awfully well here in the past 2 events of the season. He's actually got consecutive 4th-place finishes. Is that car of Todd Bodine. Today he started in 18th position. You see serially how he's made his way toward the front, now being shown in 5th position and battling for the 4th spot.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. in 63. Mark Green battling off the corner. Here comes Adam Petty, Kevin Grubb, and a host of others. Kenny Irwin, Jason Keller. That's Irwin in 42. Jason Keller in 57.
18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. You're watching there as you ride along with Kenny Irwin. Our WorldBestBuy.com telemetry shows you pretty heavy brake pedal there as he saw the car slide up a little bit, and the 57 of Keller go beneath in 4th position.
Well, that's why he was so hard on the brake. Watch as Mark Green in 63 got off the gas in turn 2, and looks to be something wrong with the Superflow car.
Mark Green still slow, not getting up to speed, and he's caught up on the outside of the racetrack, can't get on the pit road. The field flashing by. Mark Green, 18th in the point standings. Let's check in the pits with Bill.
Mark Green is telling his crew it feels like he broke the right rear axle. They want to make sure it's not a tire going down, but they asked him, and he just said, yep, it's the axle. When he gets in the gas, it goes hard to the right.
That means only one wheel is pulling. He obviously broken an axle, and the cars use a locker in the back, so when you press the accelerator, only one wheel is pulled, and it makes the car want to go right or left, according to the axle that you broke.
Tough break for Mark Green. He was 18th in points, had an 18th place finish in the season opener at Daytona. There's a leader, the Northern Light, Ford Taurus. Jeff Burton, Tommy Morgan, the crew chief on that car. Behind him, his teammate, Mark Martin. 4-car length separating those guys. Matt Kenseth back in 3rd spot. Todd Bodine was able to make the pass for 4th position. He is the 4th place car with David Green in 5th. And here's a battle waging the 3-car of Hornaday right on the bumper of Kenny Wallace.
Well, Kenny Wallace has just gotten by Hornaday. Haas trying to take that spot back, can't do it as Harvick goes by 10 feet of him.
That's Kevin Harvick, former Winston West champion, and after spending a year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series battling for position, that's the Childerson car number 2 and the Earnhardt on car number 3. Harvick will take the spot away. Hornaday is struggling.
He is really struggling, trying to get around the racetrack as Adam Petty in the sprint car goes by.
Bill Parsons going by the 59 car, the Kingsford machine. And once again, side by side up front, but not for long. Martin will, he will make the move and take the lead.
And here comes Kenseth trying to look on the inside of Jeff Burton, but can't do it. He'll have to settle back in 3rd spot. And watch Jason Leffler, the 18 car. He really gets a lesson in Darlington right there. He hit it awfully hard, and all he's trying to do was pass the 91 car of Rich Bickle on the outside. He got a little bit too high and goes up and just pounds the wall.
That wasn't a scratch. That was a haymaker with a Pontiac. Take a look at Mark Martin has led 381 of 720 total laps, over 50% of the laps this year. Has Mark Martin been dominant? It is his farewell season in Busch Series racing, and he wants to win them all. Right now, he is leading at the track, Too Tough to Tame. Back in a moment. Back to Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. We are 6 laps away from the halfway point of the SunCom 200. Mark Martin is our leader, and the challenge continues as Jeff Burton will slide beneath him and take the spot away.
Mark Martin got a little bit loose up between 1 and 2 for some reason. Not sure exactly why. Mike McLaughlin, 48. Elton Sawyer, 98. Jeff Green in 10. A battle back for the 7th, 8th, and 9th positions.
Elton Sawyer finished 2nd in this race a year ago. From 24th starting position. There's the 10 car. Jeff Green.
While these cars are closing in on the 48 car, the 34 car of David Green. That's David, the red and white car.
A couple of cars that pitted a little bit ago. The 59 car of Phil Parsons and the 1 of Randy LaJoie. And Benny, they are being shown in 10th and 11th position. They came in and put on fresh tires on that last caution in lap 48 to 50 and have fought their way all the way back toward the top 10.
I got a spin behind you. Caution is out.
Well, right in the middle of the racetrack is the 25 car of Kenny Wallace. And we see some damage to the rear of that car, the Lance Snacks Chevrolet.
Pretty heavy damage on the back of that car, the Ed Rencion machine. So 3rd caution of the day coming out on lap 73. Heavy damage to the back of his Chevy Monte Carlo.
And that's a tough break for LaJoie and Phil Parsons. We just saw them a moment ago. If this thing had gone green, that strategy of stopping, changing tires would have been a great strategy. But now, all the rest of the cars are going to stop, change tires. They can't afford to stop because this would be their last set of tires. So now, this is a huge disadvantage for Randy LaJoie, Phil Parsons.
Well, it had worked for him so flawlessly. Yeah, there's Phil Parsons in the Match Light Kingsford Chevrolet. Let's show you what happened a moment ago to Kenny Wallace here. Bring out the 3rd caution.
He's trying to get on the inside of Anthony Lazzaro. And he just had to turn the wheel too quickly, too hard. And he lost control and goes and just backs it in the wall.
Heavy, heavy contact. Another view looking up toward turn 4, up across the racetrack. There's Harvick turning down to miss him. Adam Petty goes by.
Jay Sauter going by, and Luckily, all those cars did miss him. P.J. Jones, Tim Fedewa, Kevin Grubb. A one-car crash, fortunately for those guys, for Kenny Wallace and the rest of the cars that made it by.
Now the leaders will head to pit road for their second stop of the day. Their second set of tires under caution. Remember, they're allowed 3 sets, 45 miles an hour, one continuous pit road. What a wonderful job they've done at Darlington to make one pit road. No more front and back pits. No more disadvantage of having to pit on the back stretch. They're headed down toward you, Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, Todd Bodine had made an air pressure change on that last pit stop. They're going to make a change here. A half a pound back in the right rear, 1 pound of air pressure out of the left front. This will be a 4-tire stop. And with the fuel, these guys will be good to go to the end right now. So this is a critical stop. Now to Bill Weber.
Triple pits, the 9 to 60 and the 17. As for Martin, they're going to make a track bar and an air pressure adjustment. Their first stop was 16.43. This is the car he brushed the wall in with yesterday in happy hour. He still ran 3 more laps to make sure the chassis setup was okay. To the left side on the 9 car, Martin is away. They continue to work. Now the 9 is away. And Matt Kenseth pulls out into traffic as well.
Well, best stop of those 3 was Jeff Burton. And I think that pit position may be critical. A lot of Winston Cup guys watching what happens today on pit road with these 3 segments of pits and it's one continuous pit road.
I think Burton's crew just had an exceptionally great pit stop that time, Jerry. And I'm told there's a loose tire on pit road that Ashton Lewis might have hit.
Well, we are working caution for the 3rd time today. An incident up in turn 4, a single car incident involving Kenny Wallace. He tries to get beneath Lazaro. His car spins and will tag the concrete here at Darlington. Back with more live action in just a moment. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
All right, well, let's check on a couple of cars on the racetrack as they continue to circulate here under yellow at Darlington with 75 laps on the board. First of all, for Steve Park, driving that 31 car, he was a little tight, so they made a track bar adjustment. Of course, he took 4 tires and gas, and we are past the halfway mark, as we were talking about. As for David Green, he's also been tight. He's been tight since their first stop. They tried to loosen him up with air pressure and a track bar adjustment on their first stop. They did the same thing. They made an air pressure adjustment on the front tires and another track bar adjustment, trying to loosen David Green up in the 34 car. Ray Dunlap?
Well, Bill, at the top of the show, I talked about Ron Hornaday and how this may be a tough day for the 3 team. They started back in 25th and currently running 24th, so he has only improved 1 position. Now, Dale Earnhardt Sr. is on top of the rig talking to Hornaday, trying to help him learn his way around Darlington. He said, stay off the brake and try to roll the car through the corner. Hornaday says, my right front tire doesn't feel good and I got to use the brake. Earnhardt says, one of these days you'll learn.
That's easier said than done, I'm sure.
Exactly.
I've never been in those cars.
I tell you what, you go down the corner about 160 miles per hour, the first thing you want to reach for is the brake pedal.
Or a blindfold 1. As we are under caution for the 3rd time today, the fans have enjoyed it. What a day. We already are 2nd overall in lead changes in Darlington Busch Series history. Back with more green flag action in a moment. This way the action got fast and furious in a hurry. Ashton Lewis gets a little bit of a Darlington stripe, and then Mike Borkowski gets a tap from behind. Benny, he couldn't quite save it after that tap from Kenny Irwin.
And Anthony Lazaro, the McDonald's car, gets a Darlington stripe between 1 and 2. And Jason Leffler hard in the wall on the outside of turn 2. And the latest incident was Kenny Wallace, the 25 car.
There's the back of his car on and off pit road. Look how much they have done. They've jacked the back of that car back up. David Ifton, the crew now, the Lance crew. There's David, the left side of your screen with that black jacket on. He is a veteran crew chief. In fact, he was one of your crew chiefs years and years ago, BP.
1979-80. Once they've got the jack under the back of the car, just trying to jack the back up, bang it down, trying to get the back up in the air so they can get the spoiler up to get some downforce to help the car through the corner.
Now he's leaving pit road. Here's the 18. That's the Joe Gibbs owned car of Jason Leffler, the MB&A Pontiac. They have had to come on and off pit road a couple of times. The right side of that car having been pancaked from that contact, that hard contact with the concrete wall. Let's check in the pits on the Kenseth and Burton pit stops with Bill Weber.
Well, first of all, for Jeff Burton, 16.38 for that pit crew. Outstanding time, round and a half on the track bar, trying to tighten him up a little bit. As for Matt Kenseth, they wanted to loosen him up a little bit. both these guys running well on the track. As for Burton's team, they've been waiting for a long run. That's what they're hoping for. They're going to get here. Also, these guys that did just pit, there's a tremendous amount of concern about this restart. The fastest guys on the freshest tires are not at the front of the field. They've asked their spotters to talk to the other guys around them to remind everyone exactly what the situation is here on this restart.
There you see Phil Parsons, Randy LaJoy, Jay Sauter, Chad Chapman, Buckshot Jones, and Rich Bickle. That's the top 6 cars right now. Did not stop.
And Phil Parsons finished 3rd in this race last spring after starting in 40th. The 2nd consecutive week in a row he has led. And yeah, his name is Parsons. You're right. That's Marcia's husband, Harold's boy, and the much, much younger brother of Benny.
That's the truth. Blaze Alexander, the 81 car, down on the inside, 96, trying to get a lap back, trying to get in front of the leader and hope the caution flag comes out.
Getting set for a restart here at the track. Too tough to tame. Restart here on lap number 80 of 147, which will make up the 200-miler. The spotters tell him green flag. Phil Parsons jumped back in the throttle. The back of the car wobbling just a bit. Lawson able to get one of his laps back in on the tail end of the lead lap. Now they're coming up to speed. Parsons will lead him down.
And Jeff Burton trying to get on the inside in that 9 car. There's see Gus Walker on the inside of the 81. They go in the corner, almost make contact. Meanwhile, a battle for the lead between LaJoy and Parsons. And there comes Jeff Burton. He's down on the inside of Buckshot, who takes over the 4th position.
The first 2 cars in line are cars that are on the tail end of the lead lap. At least Blaze Alexander is. There is Burton taking the 3rd spot away right up in front of Jay Sauter.
Meanwhile, Mark Martin tries to look on the inside. On the apron of the racetrack, Sauter goes up, and here comes Mark.
Phil Parsons, your leader. Randy LaJoy in 2nd spot. Jeff Burton is back in 3rd. Mark Martin being shown in 4th position. Now make it Todd Bodine in 5th. Fresh tires really making a difference for Burton and Martin as they run down the 59-1 car, which had pitted some 25 laps ago. Phil Parsons started way back in 37th position. Shown as our leader. We mentioned he's finished 3rd here last spring from 40th starting spot.
Martin watches. He's back in 4th position as Jeff Burton pulls on the inside of LaJoy. That's a battle for 2nd. Can LaJoy hold him off? No, I don't know he does. He goes in the corner on the flat Burton, but he has to fall back to 3rd spot.
Wow. Mark Martin's telemetry, the WorldBestBuy.com telemetry, showing you 163 miles an hour on a racetrack that's built to run about 100 miles an hour on.
Racetrack built back in 1950. Battle for position. David Green in the 2. David Green in 34. Kevin Harvick in 2. Mike McLaughlin watches all this. Meanwhile, a battle for the 2nd spot again. Down in the corner, LaJoy once again maintains that 2nd spot.
Great racing action here at Darlington, South Carolina. Exciting NASCAR Busch Series style. Glad to have you with us. We are closing on the record for lead changes for Busch Series action at this racetrack.
Matt Kenseth, the 17, trying to get on the inside. And finally, Burton does clear. Randy LaJoy takes over 2nd spot. Here comes Mark Martin. He's trying to take the spot away.
Will go by. Here's Todd Bodine going by.
And Kenseth goes by, and they got LaJoy hung on the outside.
Now here's a run for the lead. Burton trying to make a move inside of Phil Parsons in turn 3, and he'll make it stick.
Bodine goes by the Phillips 66 car. That's for third. Here comes Kenseth. Takes over fourth. At this point last time, Phil Parsons was leading. And right now he's in fifth and in danger of losing that spot. Delton Sawyer.
Napa Field summary showing you the points as of now. Mark Martin moves up a spot. Ron Hornaday struggling. Elton Sawyer would gain 4 positions. You see Sawyer now making a move with the Lysol board. And Phil Parsons and LaJoie are just helpless. Their tires are some 38 laps old.
Green goes by Randall LaJoie, who's into the 9th position. Big group of cars coming down the backstretch. McLaughlin trying to get by Jay Sauter. Oh! Then the Namick, the 35 car, closes in right on the back bumper of Mike McLaughlin.
And then Namick starting his 50th Busch Series race in his young career. Battling for position in the top 15. They go by Jay Sauter.
Here's Adam Petty. Just 19 years old. At 45, the red and black car talked out of his morning. He said, I love this racetrack. I knew there's something wrong with you.
He'll learn. Having a good time. There's Hut Strickland in the 61 car. And Steve Coulter on IWX Motor Freight Pontiac started way back in 42nd position, making his way toward the top 15. He is currently being shown in 16th spot.
Ron Hornaday just had to turn left to go by Jay Sauter.
Take a look at Hut Strickland. Has Bilo on the side of the car, the sponsor they picked up. He started back in 42nd position. Now being shown in 16th as we approach the 90-lap mark. He was our pole sitter at the season opener in Daytona. 38-year-old driver from Calera, Alabama.
Bilo is a South Carolina supermarket out of Malden, South Carolina.
A good run for Hut trying to get in the top 15. Meanwhile, back up front, car number 9 is the leader. That is Jeff Burton. He's trying to chase down the car number 81 and put him a lap down. Jack Rouse shows the cars that are running up front. There's Tommy Morgan, the crew chief, for Jeff Burton, our leader. 90-plus laps are complete. Back at Darlington Raceway, enjoying the second half of the NASCAR Busch Series action. What a great one we've had thus far, but lots of action coming your way. Up next, we go out to Phoenix International Raceway for the Chevy Trucks NASCAR 150. Joe Ruttman will lead them down in the Dana Dodge alongside Andy Houston in a Chevy. That's coming up next out at Phoenix. And of course, later today here we have our happy hour coverage. NASCAR's final hour of Winston Cup practice at 6:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. And RPM tonight will wrap it up at 7:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2 as well. For more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network, go.com.
Jeff Burton continues to lead. Mark Martin's in second spot. He has about a second lead over Mark Martin now. There we see Mark coming off the corner. Last time by, they were about the same speed. This time by, Jeff Burton, the leader, just about a half mile per hour quicker than Mark Martin.
That's about a second interval there between Martin and Jeff Burton in the car number 9. And there's Kenseth back in third spot. That's the blue car, the 17 car with the Visine sponsorship. Todd Bodine has finished back-to-back 4th places in the last 2 events. He's running, guess where? 4th today. We have less than 50 laps to go. There is Todd Bodine in the top Arctic Chevrolet. C.C. Walliver car. Donnie Richardson, the crew chief on that car, trying to make it 3 in a row to finish in 4th position. He didn't want to finish in 4th, but that's what could happen with 3 consecutive top 5s in a row. Elton Sawyer, the car number 98, right behind him, had that great run here last year, finishing in 2nd position. There's Elton in the Lysol colors.
Currently running in 5th. There's Steve Park running in 6th.
Park is the car number 31, the Wheelan car. His first Busch start since the end of the 1997 season when he was Rookie of the Year. Here's the number 10, the Nesquik Chevrolet for Jeff Green, last year's runner-up in the point standings. He's back in 7th. And a great run for the Team Marine Chevy. Rick Rathman's Team Marine Chevrolet for Hank Parker Jr. Being shown back in 8th position. He was the pole sitter early this year out of Las Vegas. Had a spark plug problem early on. Dropped back in a hurry, but a top 10 run for a very inexperienced young man at a tough racetrack. That's a good run for him.
Very good. Hank Parker Jr. this year has had some fantastic runs. We see David Green and Kevin Harvick, 9th and 10th position.
Harvick, the AC Delco Chevrolet, 1998 Western West champion. Coming out of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. There's Mike McLaughlin, Magic Shoes, the Gould's Pump Chevy. Trying to escape some of the bad luck he's had to begin this year. He's in 11th position with the onboard Cobalt camera. There's a look at Mike, former most popular driver, NASCAR Featherweight Modified Series champion. Behind him,
Lyndon Amy back in the 12th position. As you can see, sponsored by Mitsubishi Power Towel. He's from South Carolina, so would love to do well here at the Darlington Raceway.
From Saluda, South Carolina. 37 cars. That's one car now being passed. 36 cars out of 43 starters on the lead lap. And take a look, there's action all over the place. There's Kenny Irwin and that great run last week at Atlanta. And side by side for position, that's the 59 of Phil Parsons and Fida able to make the pass.
Well, Phil Parsons was leading this race when they threw the green flag to restart after the caution flag. He and Randall LaJoy, several others, four of the cars did not fit. Changed tires. Right now, Phil is back in the 21st position. So, once again, trying to just show what a difference that new tires will make on the speed of a car here at Darlington Raceway.
0-0 Buckshot, the Cheez-It Pontiac, and Burton goes by, and so does Martin. And they will make now just 35 cars on the lead lap. Buckshot being shown back in 36th position.
Chaff of the Lear car about to go a lap down and you better have a crash. Michael Rich goes around down in the corner. Dick Trickle. Oh, and you see some contact.
And Trickle was just trying to decide where he had to go.
Been off the turn 4.
Thought he could get by and ends up damaging the fender on his car, number 5, the Snyder Trucking Machine. But Michael Rich will bring out the 4th caution flag today here on lap 105.
Florida Gators, too bad for Michael.
Michael Rich driving for Jerry Davis, a big University of Florida Gator supporter. So he's put Gators on the side of that car, and pretty significant damage. I'll show you what happened to the car 55 there in the middle of your screen.
Right there, he just gets a touch from Jimmy Johnson, the 92 car, but just enough that around he goes. Johnson does a fantastic job stopping and getting under the car. Trickle tries to go above him. He said, come on, get out of the way. I know I got it. Okay, I'll go below you. Guess what? Down he goes right in the front of Trickle.
Those self-cleaning banks allowing the 55 car to slide back across. Another angle looking across the turn. You see the tap from behind.
Tony Raines goes by in the Bear car. Boom, and Johnson barely gets by, and poor Trickle. He's up. He thinks he's going to go. He knew he was going down the racetrack, but just didn't do it before he got there.
Now from Jimmy Johnson's roof camera.
There he goes, gets back on the gas just a little quicker than Michael Rich. Some contact in the rear, and Rich goes around. Now, pit stop. Should be the final pit stop of the day. The entire field almost coming down pit road.
45 miles an hour. Final set of tires they'll have under caution as they all come in. We'll watch the pit work. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
Todd Bodine is in the Phillips Chevy. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment and a wedge adjustment. One round down in the left rear. A little bit of an air pressure adjustment. They got the windshield cleaned off. And Mark Martin is now in. Jeff Burton out of Bill Weber.
Well, the 9 is is on pit road. He has the very first pit stall. The 60 is here, and so is the 17 running well for Jeff Burton. A half pound out of the right rear, fuel, 4 tires. Martin is out of his pit. They also tore the tearaway off the windshield of Burton. Another great stop for the 9. He beats out the 60. The 17 is next, followed by the 66. And Elton Sawyer, then the mad dash off of pit road.
Well, they've all got fresh rubber now with less than 45 laps to go. Make it 41 laps remaining here in this SunCom. There's the car number 1 of LaJoie. Bob Evans' restaurant car. Trouble now with the left rear. There is work being done on the damaged right front of Dick Trickle Snyder Chevrolet.
LaJoie finally completes his. And there we see Trickle going back on the racetrack. And Jerry, doesn't look like a lot of damage to the Snyder car.
Be fairly cosmetic. They were able to pull some of that right front fender out, but that's the reason we're under caution here for the 4th time today. As there's the Snyder Chevrolet going down pit road. By the way, for you Dick Trickle fans, did a masterful job qualifying A.J. Foyt's Conseco Pontiac for tomorrow's Mall.com 400. Well, while we're under caution, we'll show you from the Briggs & Stratton roof camera, the spin, the tap in front, and 58-year-old Dick Trickle had nowhere to go, up against the wall. There would be contact with the right front fender right there, and that's why we're under caution. Back in a moment. ESPN NASCAR action from Darlington coming your way. Speaking of coming your way, how about the NHRA Mac Tools Gator Nationals from Gainesville, Florida? Qualifying can be seen tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Then tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern, it's race day. That's the NHRA Mac Tools Gator Nationals from Gainesville, Florida, 5 Eastern Time tomorrow. For more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network, go.com. Glad to have you with us. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap, as we have less than 40 laps to go. And P.J. Jones, the rookie driver, yes, he's the son of the famous Parnelli Jones, he will lead him down for the green flag.
61 car, Hud Strickland's in 2nd spot. We see Jeff Burton back in 3rd spot. These first 2 cars, Jones and Strickland, did not pit. See how long they can stay out in front of the leader with those used tires. Green flag is up.
Green flag.
Jeff Burton already dives to the inside of Gus Wasson. And here comes Mark Martin and Matt Kenseth.
The car 61. There's the roof camera. Watch Burton make a move. Watch Martin go by. Battling grocery stores for a moment there. Martin takes a spot away. Someone just bounced off the wall near one of our robotic cameras. The 48 car. That is McLaughlin in the Gould's Pump Chevy.
Onboard cameras. You see all the cars going by McLaughlin. Meanwhile, the 91 car, Rich Bickle, goes a lap down. And you're the lead. P.J. Jones has lost the lead. He's lost 2nd spot. And here comes the 91 car. Bickle thought was Kenseth for just a moment.
Lap 111. Jeff Burton retakes the lead. There's Kenseth going by the 74 car P.J. Burton, then Martin, then 3rd spot is the 17 car Kenseth. 4th position, that's the car 66 right there. That's Todd Bodine. What a battle he's having with Elton Sawyer. Those 3 cars, 66, 98, and 53, are having a war there. And we told you about the bad luck that Mike McLaughlin has had to begin this year. Well, take a look.
Mike just simply got a little bit high coming off turn 4, got the right front, up in the loose stuff, the debris, and he could not turn it, and directly into the wall, the Gould's Pump Chevrolet went.
Oh, they're trying to work on the right side of that car. Mike's best finish, a 15th at Rockingham. Here's a battle. Lyndon Amick in the 35 car. Kevin Harvick as they touch coming off the corner.
Battle back for about the 11th to 12th spot. Amick's on the inside. Here's Jason Keller.
Keller pulls the car down to the inside. He's had a good run today. The Excedrin Chevrolet.
And we see P.J. Jones right in front of these guys. Contact. And then the lady gets in the back of 74. Now they all line up on the inside, trying to force a 74 up to the outside.
P.J. did not pit. And remember, those tires going away for P.J. He is a sitting duck out there. They just zipping by. There's Kevin Grubb in the 37 car trying to go by. That is for position. That's for the 14th spot.
Mike Dillon, the 21 car, goes by. Meanwhile, Tim Fetal on the inside of Phil Parsons, 36 car going down in turn 3. And Bobby Hamilton Jr., the 26 car, is off the pace and slow.
Well, they're starting to mix it up here at Darlington, South Carolina, as we approach the 30 laps to go mark.
Oh, and then Jimmy Johnson spins.
Oh, Casey Atwood spins. A car plows into Atwood up high, and we've got four cars involved in an incident off of turn 2. And there's flames at the back of Casey Atwood's car number 27, the Castrol Chevy. See, moving around in there. He has hit the back of the wall, and looks like
you're on fire there. You need to move or something, get out of there or something.
Yeah, he is out of the car. That's the young 19-year-old.
He's okay, guys. He's out.
Spotter telling the crew about their young driver. And the fire trucks are there as the field moves down beneath them. The fire truck just to the left of your screen there. He's up there trying to put it out. This incident coming out on lap 115. 5th caution flag of the day.
Left Casey Atwood with no place to go when the racetrack was blocked.
Jimmy Johnson, the car number 92, that apparently had some contact and spun. That's when it all broke loose.
We'll check and see what happens going in the corner. We'll see Johnson on the inside. That's the dark colored car. I'm sorry, Adam Petty's on the inside. They go down in the corner, and Johnson, I guess there was contact right there. Adam Petty just slight contact in the left rear of Johnson, and we see the 27 car get hit from behind. And I talked about a moment ago when Borkowski spun, did not hit the brakes, and the other guys were able to see. Look at how when this Johnson locked the brakes up, the smoke just obscured the visibility for everyone. There we see right there is the contact. And there we see someone, I guess that was Hermie Sadler, maybe got in the back of the 27 car, and he hits him again.
And there's Jason Leffler, the 18 car, up involved. He was trying to get the car woed down.
Looks like Gus Wasson, the 96 Allen Oasis car, spun down and really didn't hit anything. On board with Kenny Irwin, there's some contact. As you go down the front stretch. Watch this down in turn 1. The gap is going to close. Right there is the contact.
And just ever so slight contact with Adam Petty and Jimmy Johnson, but it didn't take much. Now from the roof camera.
Listen to this, folks.
That was Mike Stefanik that came by in the car number 90, also involved. Here's a different angle.
There's a bump. There's a car going around. There's all the smoke as he nails the gas. You heard him nail the gas, which totally obscured everyone's vision. And we don't see the 90 car hit the 92 behind those buildings. Here we might see the contact with the 90 car of Mike Stefanik as he comes down. There's Stefanik trying to get by. There is the contact.
So caution number 5 coming out on lap 115. We'll take a look at the roof camera to get the vantage point of everyone involved. Left side of your screen, the smoke and the spinning cars. And that's why we are under caution here at Darlington Raceway as the laps are winding down. Stay with us. In Darlington, South Carolina, working the 5th caution flag of the day. And for those of you watching at home, we'll reset the cars involved. They're working on the car number 19. That is the Castrol car of Casey Atwood. He was involved. Adam Petty, there was initial contact between Adam Petty and Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson's car spins. Casey Atwood's car spins up into the wall. He has some contact from Hermie Sadler. Michael Rich is involved. The 96 of Gus Wasson is involved. And those are the Jason Leffler, the car number 18, as well as the 90 of Mike Stefanik. Those are the cars involved in our latest incident here, caution number 5. Let's go to the pits and Ray.
Well, Jerry, when we take a look at the rear bumper of the Altel Chevy for Jimmy Johnson, you can see it's just the smallest little mark right there, but a great deal of damage up front here as we're going to try to get in. Jimmy, some good racing going on out there. You were running 23rd, but we saw just the slightest amount of contact, and that put you right into the wall.
Yeah, you know, it sure did. It's too bad for the Altel Chevrolet. You know, it's a game of give and take out there, and getting down towards the end, some guys didn't want to give. They were taking, and, you know, I've been letting guys go that were on the inside of me at the start-finish line just to avoid a wreck down there, and somebody didn't give me a break, and we had a little contact, and we almost made it through it, but got caught in the front. So we'll get it fixed, get some points, and get this Altel Chevrolet back out there.
This is a tough old racetrack. How much have you learned about getting around this place?
This place is unbelievable. This year's a learning year for me. I'm a rookie in this, and I'm speechless for how this place races. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so they're going to try to get this car back out there, but as you see up here in the front, there's an awful lot of damage on the 92 car. Now to Bill Weber.
Steve Park has hit pit road. He has a flat left front tire. They're going to change both left side tires, and they made a chassis adjustment to compensate for that. That's a bad break for Park, but every driver, especially the leaders, very concerned about this. Most of these guys cannot take any new tires under caution. They had on the apron on hot tires. In that case, you can usually, or you can occasionally, I should say, pick up debris. So they've all been warned to make sure your tires are good and make sure you clean your tires when you go back to green. Right now, the only victim so far has been Steve Park.
And that is the NASCAR rule, by the way, to try to keep costs down. They're allowed only 3 sets of tires under caution, and they've used their 3 sets up, so they cannot come in and change tires. There are the spotters up on top of the tower here at the start-finish line. They are the ones that are the eyes of the drivers here at this tough egg-shaped oval, Darlington Raceway. Back with more in a moment. Coming up next, the Chevy Trucks NASCAR 150 from Phoenix International Raceway. How did they qualify? Well, Joe Ruttman will lead them down to the Dana Dodge. Andy Houston, Marty Houston, Greg Biffle, just 1/1000th of a second separating second, third, and fourth. And there's the top 10. Terry Cook rounding up the top 10. There's Jack Sprague, the defending NASCAR Craftsman Truck Champion. He will start in 9th position. That's coming up next from out in Phoenix.
All right. The cars are lining up, getting ready for a restart. Pace car turns left. Rich Bickle on the inside of Jeff Burton and Mark Martin. He's a lap down that blue car, along with Blaze Alexander. Right now we have 29 cars on the lead lap.
Green.
Restart here on lap 124 of 147. So just 23 laps remaining here.
Battle for the lead. Mark Martin gets on the inside of Burton, and Burton is up high in that oil where the 27 car had a problem, but they did not go through that. I was concerned about cars going through that, throwing up some dust and obscuring visibility, but did not happen as Mark Martin goes by and takes the lead. Here's what I'm concerned about when Casey Atwood, all the fire foam they put out right there, but these cars aren't running high enough to get in that and throw up the dust. Matt Kenseth back in 3rd spot, the blue car.
Now with that lead change, we are 1 away from tying the all-time Busch Series record here at Darlington Raceway. 22 lead changes. What a show these fans who are standing as the field flashes by have enjoyed today. Hope you have too, watching at home on ESPN. And Jeff Burton says, okay, now it's my turn. Let's I can run my buddy down here, Mark Martin. Martin pulls him by half a car length. Approaching the 20 laps to go mark. Harold Ford's up front. You see Ford currently leading in the field summary of the overall points battle. Martin and Burton with Sawyer, the next Ford, back in 5th position.
This is where they said Jeff Burton's strong suit is up between Turns 1 and 2, off turn 2. But Mark Martin able to hold him off. Last time by, Burton about a mile per hour faster than Mark Martin.
Jeff Burton sneaks to the inside, thinks about it, doesn't quite have the momentum, pulls back in line.
That time, Mark Martin a little bit quicker. As Burton lost some speed up in turns 3 and 4.
Got a car that's brushed the wall.
Ashton Lewis, the 46 car, looks like it's made pretty significant contact with the outside retaining wall. And you Hutch Strickland fans, a couple of laps ago off turn 2, Hut did the same thing. Meanwhile, back to the lead.
Still no caution flag, no caution whatsoever. We are 20 laps to go. And we'll show you what happened to Ashton Lewis here a moment ago. Young man from Chesapeake, Virginia in the car 46.
Will contact with Phil Parsons, and when he goes up, has to save it in the outside retaining wall.
And from his in-car, from the Porter Cable roof camera, watching behind the one car.
Up the racetrack. And just before the contact, we got away from the shot. Back to the lead, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton. Last time, here goes Burton trying to get on the inside. Can't quite make it.
They are teammates for Jack Roush, but right now they are competitors, and they are the fiercest of competitors here at Darlington Raceway. Martin, a two-time winner this year. Burton having won at Las Vegas. Laps are winding down, and the fans are on their feet for the final lap at Darlington, South Carolina. When we come back, the finish of the SunCom 200. At Darlington Raceway, it is getting fast and furious up front. Martin is holding on, but Burton is giving him everything he can handle in that rearview mirror. And now the third car in line for the battle.
Don't forget about Matt Kenseth, the 17 car, the Visine car. He has joined this 2 Fords. Burton looks on the outside. Got to be a fake. He's not going to try to pass Martin on the outside. He wants to get position on the inside.
2 Fords and a Chevrolet as we approach the 10-lap to go mark here in Darlington, South Carolina. Darlington is a NASCAR tradition, and they are enjoying NASCAR's Busch Series action here today. 3 veteran drivers, 2 Winston Cup veterans and a Busch Series veteran who's a Winston Cup rookie. They're the top 3 cars. With 12 laps to go as they come by this time. Mark Martin has dominated the season thus far, leading over 50% of the laps in Busch competition. He has 2 victories. He won at Rockingham, and he won last week in Atlanta. Jeff Burton won at Las Vegas. Kenseth won the season opener in Daytona. Here is Martin taking a look, or Burton taking a look to the inside of Mark Martin, and he can't quite make it stick.
Jeff Burton, Bill Weber told me during the break, has told all of his people, stay off the radio. All I want to hear from the spotter. If there's any kind of trouble, I need to be apprised of that. But otherwise, stay off the radio. Some slow cars right in front. And that 55 car, Rich, all 3 cars able to get by, not have to crack the throttle. Jeff Burton wants to focus on the job at hand, trying to pass Mark Martin in that Winn-Dixie car.
Total concentration. Burton once again fading the inside. Can he make the move? He pulls down. Got to be careful because that's Kenseth behind him. He also wants to make a move. 10 to go. 10 laps to go at Darlington, South Carolina. Mark Martin saying farewell to the Busch Series after this year. 14 total events. This is stop number 4 for Martin. He wants to win them all. He has won 2 out of 3 starts so far. He's second in the other one.
I really believe that is a goal that Mark and his team set to themselves at the beginning of the year is let's just win them all. Let's go out in grand style for our last year in NASCAR Busch Series competition.
Remember, coming up next, we're going to go out for that NASCAR Truck Series Duel in the Desert out at Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix International Raceway. Here's a battle for position. That is Jeff Green in the 10 car right behind Hank Parker Jr. David Green, his older brother, the 34 car to the inside.
Still there.
Battle for 5th spot. Hank Parker Jr. manages to hang on.
That is 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th position right there in line. Hornaday, the 8th place car, the Napa Chevrolet. You wonder why fans love to come to Darlington Raceway. Action all over this 1.366 mile oval, and David Green slipped slightly.
And Jeff Green trying to go on the inside of his older brother. Meanwhile, the leaders is running across some traffic off turn 2. Lazaro moves over, lets him go by. Kenny Wallace moves over, lets him go by. Has not been a problem so far, but it sure can. Look at Kenseth coming up on the outside of Burton as they come across slow traffic. He's on the outside of Martin.
And Mark Martin has to know which way to go. He pulls to the inside of P.J. Jones. Will make the move. Kenseth will be hung up high, so he will fall back in line behind Jeff Burton. It'll be 5 laps to go. $658,000 plus up for grabs in the SunCom 200 here at Darlington. That's the interval right there. You see Jeff Burton pedaling for all he is worth in Northern Light 4. But it's the Winn-Dixie colors of Mark Martin that has him by 3 car lengths. This is Mark Martin's 4th race of 14. His farewell tour to the NASCAR Busch Series. He has won twice, finished 2nd in his only other start. And the driver who won that one was Jeff Burton. Winning by virtue of a car spinning in front of Mark Martin. What a great job all 3 of these drivers are doing here in the final laps.
Meanwhile, back to the Green brothers. David Green on the outside, the 34. Jeff on the inside, the 10. David maintains that position at 6th. Don't worry, we have a camera aimed on the lead. If anything happens, we'll let you know.
There they are coming out of turn 4. The interval still about 2.5 car lengths. Burton narrows it down to about a car length and a half. Here's the battling Green brothers for position.
Jeff takes that spot away.
That is 6th spot. 3 laps to go. Matt Abernathy, the flagman, will hold out 2 fingers as they come by this time. Benny, if you're Jeff Burton, do you have anything you can do at all right now to try to move in on Mark Martin?
I think that Jeff Burton has done everything he possibly can. All he can hope right now is for traffic. And it doesn't appear as though they're going to run across any slower cars. I don't know. They got a lap and a half to go, and Hutch Trickle, who bounced off the wall about 10, 15 laps ago, might pose a problem for these 2 cars.
Now the interval's down to a car length, make it a half a car length. Burton looks to the inside as they come down for the white flag. He's making a move on the bottom of the racetrack. They are side by side. Burton's car wiggles, it slips, and the white flag waves. We are in the final lap at the track, 2 tough to tame. It is Burton on the bottom, Martin up high. A pair of Fords side by side. And Benny, what a battle.
What a fantastic battle through the corners. Run through a corner side by side. You can't run through a corner. And all of a sudden, Burton is leading again as Kenneth go by on the outside, or trying to go by on the outside. And off turn 4 will come Mark Martin to the checkered flag.
Mark Martin will hold on for the win. Possibly Kenseth takes 2nd spot. Burton's tires are going away. And listen to these fans as they have enjoyed one of the best Busch battles. And that crew's enjoying it so much because they are headed to victory lane. There's a disappointed Kim Burton, who's Jeff's wife, knowing her husband gave it his all and came within a half a lap of having a shot at winning it. We'll come back and talk to the winner, Mark Martin, in just a moment. In coverage of NASCAR Busch action from Darlington Raceway has been brought to you by Polaris ATVs and their millionth automatic $1 million giveaway, and by Purelator. Next time, put on a Pure One from Purelator. Better remember it. Let's go down to our McDonald's winner circle. Here's Bill Weber.
With Mark Martin, you started side by side with Jeff Burton, and you nearly finished that way. What a finish.
Man, that was unbelievable. I kind of feel bad for Jeff Burton. I probably lost 50 of them that way. I haven't won very many that way, but today, you know, it was just our luck. I'm glad the finish line was where it was. It got the checkered flag because we were in Jeff Burton's way big time. But, you know, we got him on that restart. We got a good restart and got by him, and the race ran out before he had a chance to get us back.
Another win in Dixie. Jerry, we got to go to Phoenix.
Absolutely. Take a look at the final results here from Darlington, South Carolina. Martin, Kenseth, Burton. What a finish, Benny. What a day here for Busch Series Racing.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it, Jerry.
For Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap, I'm Jerry Punch. Once again, congratulating Mark Martin on win number 43 in his career. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network, go.com. What a day in Darlington, South Carolina. Now let's head out for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Chevy Trucks, NASCAR 150. Here is Marty Reed out in Phoenix. Marty?